One more boom exists to help operators, builders, and future founders understand, position for, and build into the next boom, being shaped by AI, energy, infrastructure, automation, capital, and execution. For a lot of us, the boom that taught us how to work was real world consequence. But the next boom will demand a different kind of operator and a different kind of founder. AI needs power to scale. Power needs infrastructure to flow. Infrastructure needs execution to build. Execution needs operators to perform. And operators need leverage to win. You are also going to see my digital clone on this show. That is intentional. I am not going to talk about AI and automation from the sidelines. I am going to use the tools, but the standard is simple. AI helps produce the content. It does not own the thinking. Every script, thesis, and episode direction is reviewed by me personally before production. The clone gives me leverage. The accountability stays with me. This is one more boom. Field notes for the next boom.
The last boom taught a lot of us how to work. For me, that world was field work, welding, inspection, construction, energy projects, long hours, pressure, and real consequences. And if you came from that world, you know what I mean. You learn pretty quickly that the real world does not care how good the plan sounds. If the material is wrong, it is wrong. If the weld is bad, it is bad. If the handoff gets missed, somebody pays for it. That kind of work gives you a different filter. But here's the part I keep coming back to. The next boom is not going to look exactly like the last one. And if we are honest, it probably should not. The next one is being shaped by AI, energy, infrastructure, automation, capital, and execution, all at the same time. That is why I started One More Boom, not to sit around talking about how good the last one was, and not to pretend I have the next one all figured out. The point is to document the transition, what I am learning, what I am building, what I am testing, what needs to be stress tested before it becomes an expensive mistake. That is the show. Field notes for the next boom. For a long time, opportunity was easier to recognize. A project got approved, a plant expanded, a pipeline moved forward, a field got busy, a town filled up, the phones started ringing, the hours got longer, the money started moving. A lot of us understood that kind of boom, but this next one feels different. It is not just one sector getting hot, it is a collision of a few big forces. AI is driving demand for compute. Compute needs data centers need power. Power needs land, gas, transmission, batteries, cooling, fiber, permitting, capital, and people who can actually execute. So when people say AI is just software, I think they are missing the physical side of the story. AI is going to need a massive amount of real-world infrastructure, and real-world infrastructure does not get built by theory. It gets built by operators, builders, founders, capital, communities, and teams that can handle constraints. That is where this gets interesting, because the people who understand the physical world may have a bigger role in the AI era than they realize, but only if they adapt. This show is for operators, builders, and future founders, and I do not mean that in a cute branding way. I mean people who want to understand what is changing and actually do something with it. Tradespeople, inspectors, project managers, construction leaders, energy people, founders, people who are thinking about becoming founders, people who came up through pressure but know the next chapter is going to require more than just working hard, because working hard still matters. I believe that. But working hard by itself is not enough anymore. Experience matters too. But experience without adaptation can turn into a ceiling. That is the part a lot of people do not want to hear. The skills from the last boom still matter. Discipline still matters. Judgment still matters. Showing up still matters. Knowing how work actually gets done still matters. But now we have to add leverage. AI, automation, better systems, better research, better relationship management, better health, better decisions. That is the audience I care about. Serious people trying to build into what comes next. I should probably explain my lens. I am not coming at this as a Silicon Valley AI guy. I am not trying to be a tech influencer, and I am not interested in pretending every new AI tool is life-changing. My background is practical: welding, inspection, construction management, energy projects, the kind of work where vague ideas do not survive very long. That background changes how I look at technology. When I look at AI, I do not just see prompts and apps. I see power demand, I see grid constraints, I see land, I see cooling, I see fiber, I see permitting, I see capital, I see communities that will either benefit from this or get left out of it. I see execution risk and I see opportunity, but not easy opportunity, earned opportunity. That is probably the best way to say it. There is opportunity here, but it has to be earned. Here is the core thesis of One More Boom. The next boom is going to be built by people who can connect things that usually get talked about separately: energy, infrastructure, AI, automation, capital, execution, health, relationships, personal discipline. Most people want to separate those into different boxes, but in real life, they all touch. AI needs power, power needs infrastructure, infrastructure needs capital, capital needs trust, trust needs relationships, relationships need follow through, follow through needs systems, systems need discipline, and discipline starts with the person running the system. That is why this show is not just an AI show, it is not just an energy show, it is not just a business show, and it is not a self-improvement show dressed up with industrial language. It sits in the middle. That is the point, because I think the middle is where the real opportunity is. One of the things I keep thinking about is leverage, because a lot of operators are used to earning through effort. More hours, more pressure, more responsibility, more travel, more sacrifice. And there is pride in that. There should be. But there is also a trap there. At some point, if everything depends on more effort, you hit a ceiling. That is where leverage matters. AI can be leverage. Automation can be leverage. A second brain can be leverage. A good relationship system can be leverage. A strong team can be leverage. A better health system can be leverage. But leverage is dangerous if your thinking is sloppy. Tools do not magically make you better. They multiply what is already there. So if your judgment is weak, AI can help you make bad decisions faster. If your information is messy, automation can spread the mess. If your follow-up is poor, a bigger CRM just gives you a bigger place to lose relationships. That is why standards matter. Evidence matters. Human review matters. Accountability matters. The goal is not to use AI because it is trendy. The goal is to use it in a way that helps serious people build better. Part of this show will be me documenting what I am building and testing. And I want to be careful with that. I am not saying everything is finished. I am not saying every idea is a company. And I am not saying every concept is ready for capital. That would be dishonest. What I am saying is that I am going to show the thinking as it develops. Some of that work is around energy and infrastructure. Some of it is around AI-ready communities. Some of it is around founder campuses. Some of it is around second brain systems and automation. Some of it is around relationship intelligence, meeting capture, due diligence, and follow through. And some of it is personal: health, discipline, identity, rebuilding the operator, because the person running the system still matters. That is one of the things I do not want to lose in all this AI talk. The tool matters, but the operator matters more. So this will be build logs, field notes, stress tests, and honest breakdowns. Not hype, not victory laps before the work is done, just the work. Season 1 is really about building the foundation. We are going to talk about the operator's edge in the AI era. Why AI is infrastructure, not just software. Why energy may become one of the biggest bottlenecks behind the AI boom. Why founder campuses might matter. Why the next generation of builders may need more than co-working spaces and motivational events. We are going to talk about second brains because most of them become digital junk drawers. We are going to talk about mission control, which is my way of thinking about an operator cockpit for decisions, relationships, research, follow-up, and execution. We are going to talk about automation guardrails because AI agents without control can become a liability fast. We are going to talk about relationships as infrastructure, and we are going to talk about rebuilding the operator physically, mentally, professionally, personally. So this is not random content. At least it should not be. It is a thesis. It is a build, and this first season is the foundation. So here is the question I want to leave you with. What part of the next boom are you actually preparing for? Not watching, not reading about, not talking about, preparing for. What do you understand that other people are missing? What skills from the last boom still give you an edge? What assumptions from the last boom need to be upgraded? Where do you need leverage? Where do you need better systems? Who do you need to become to build into this? Because the next boom is not owed to us. The fact that we worked hard before does not guarantee we win what comes next. We have to earn it. We have to learn. We have to adapt, and we have to build. That is what One More Boom is here to document. I'm Nick Gemmell. This is One More Boom, Field Notes for the Next Boom.